Okay, here are the answers to the Chapter 5 closure problems. So for problem 62, we're going to solve each equation. So the first one, we're going to distribute the 3. So we get 6x minus 3 plus 7 is negative 44. So I get 6x plus 4 equals negative 44. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to get 6x equals negative 48. Divide both sides. Divide both sides by 6, so x equals negative 8. For b, I'm going to distribute the 6 and the negative, so I get 12x minus 30 equals negative x minus 4. So I'm going to add x to both sides. Get 13x minus 30 equals negative 4. Add 30. So I'm going to get 13x equals 26. Divide both sides by 13. So I get x equals 2. Problem 63, solve for each variable. So this one I'm solving for y in this first one, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I get 5y equals negative 2x plus 10. So divide by 5. So I end up with y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 2. For b, I'm solving for x. So I'm going to distribute. I get 3x plus 6 equals y minus 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. I get 3x equals y minus 12. Divide everything by 3. So I get x equals 1/3 y minus 4. Problem 64, examine the tile pattern at right and then complete parts A through C that follow. So here's my tile pattern. It says draw figures 1 and 2. So I noticed that it's increasing by the square each time, but the 3 stays the same. So in figure 1, I would have just had a block off of it. In figure 5, I would have had a 5 by 5. So it would look like that. So if I make my XY table, I start at 0. 0 would have actually had 3 tiles. Figure 1 has 4. Figure 2 has 4, 5, 6, 7 in it. Figure 3 has 9, 10, 11, 12 in it. Figure 4 has 16, 17, 18, 19. And then figure 5, which isn't on there, but it's 25, 26, 27, 28. Because it says in the next one, make a complete graph, include figures 0 through 5. So on my graph, down. So figure 0 starts at, and if I count by 2s, it's 3. Figure 1 was 4. Figure 3 was 7, so 2, 4, 6, 7 would be right there. Figure 3 was 12, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So if you notice, it's starting to go, so the graph actually ended up going by a curve. Problem 65 says use the table to complete parts A through B. So B is going to ask me to write the rule, and I like to do that first. So I need to figure out what did I multiply x by to get 1. So 1 times what plus or minus would give me 1. So I'm actually going to look at the 5. So I know 5 times 2 minus 1 will give me 9. 1 times 2 minus 1 is 1. So my rule is going to be y equals 2x minus 1. So to fill in the rest of my table, I get negative 10 minus 1, which is negative 11. Negative 6 minus 1 is going to be negative 7. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1 is 5. 7, 14 minus 1 is going to give me 13. Problem 66 says for each pair of lines below, solve the system graphically. So for this first one, I'm going to start at -5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to go up 7, positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, and draw my line. My other line starts at positive 13, which is above my graph, but I know I'm going to go down 2 and over 1. So down 2 and over 1 is actually going to put me right here. So my line would have looked like that. So the answer is 2, 9 for this one. I do the same thing for these ones. My first graph is going to start at -1 and go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. My second one starts at, off a little bit, starts at positive 2. So they're actually parallel lines, which means there's no solution. Problem 67 says to rent jet skis at Sam's costs $25 plus $3 per hour. Claire's, it costs $5 plus $8 per hour. At how many hours will the rental cost at both shops be equal? Write an equation that represents each shop's charges. What do the variables represent? So to write an equation for Sam, we're going to say y equals 3x plus 25. For Claire, it's going to be y equals 8x plus 5. And x stands for hours, and y is the cost. Problem 68, you are solving each equation for x. So the first one, I'm going to get rid of my denominators by multiplying by 15. So I'm going to get 15x plus 15 divided by 3 equals 15x plus 30 divided by 5. So when I simplify, I get 5x plus 5 equals 3x plus 6. So subtract 3x from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x plus 5 equals 6 minus 5. So I get 2x equals 1, divide both sides by 2, so x is going to equal 1/2. For b, I'm going to multiply by 12, because that's my common denominator, so I'm going to get 12x over 3, plus 12x over 4, plus 12, equals 12x over 2. So when I simplify, I'm going to get 4x plus 3x plus 12, it's going to equal 6x. So I'm going to get 7x plus 12 equals 6x. I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. I get 12 equals -1x. Divide both sides by -1. So I get -12 equals x.